What's up, guys? Welcome to another exciting edition of Real Estate Podcast, episode 370. I'm here with Griffin.
I'm here with Trav.
And we're wondering who the hell put the Konami code in the Matrix with Adam.
This week we watched Watchers.
Yep. Who watches The Watchers?
I mean, they
We do.
picked this title. They were like, the working title was Fairies, but that probably
Well,
wasn't so well. Started out cool.
Yes. It's based off a book.
Oh.
I feel like at about an hour in, they should have edited in a moment where you hear Beavis be like, they're watching them. And then you just hear Butthead go, this sucks.
Shut up, Beavis. I like to watch.
Because all in all, this movie sucked.
Well,
this
what I
movie
thought
sucked.
was weird, and it should have, like, of course, right before it's like, oh, that's not her.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. But I'm like, but how did it get out of there? You know? But
Yeah.
whenever they
Well,
get to that thing in the road, or when they're on the way out and they find that thing and she starts telling the story, I'm like, how the fuck do you know? You weren't there.
Yeah.
Turns out she was there.
Yeah.
Well, like it was such a, what would you call it? I guess a cop out. It wasn't
was
really
a
a bait
cop-out.
and switch. Well, like the first hour was interesting. I love
Yeah.
the setup. I really
Yeah.
did. I mean, I was like, okay, we got some
Something
Fanning
wicked this
baggage.
way comes, you know?
Fanning's got some baggage. I almost griffined that word, and I realized what it would have sounded
Yeah.
like, so I restrained.
Whoa.
use the theater of the mind, kids. But anyway, and I'm like, okay, got some problems. I hear it. All right. And then we even get the ominous stuff where it's like there's something about like a fog laden wood thing that just because it's in a lot of A24 films.
Well, even
Yeah.
that bird was like, no, the car.
So even though it's eerie, I was very much like, I'm down. I'm comfy.
Yeah.
This is good.
I was like, you're going to get out here and find some men.
I was like, why was that guy running? What's the big deal? Like, is he about to break through like a cabin in the woods style barrier and it's gonna like
Yeah.
mince him to death or something?
And
Like,
it was daytime when he died. Just wanna
Yes. Not
throw
only
that out
that,
there.
but like, how long was that sequence? Way too long.
Yeah. I didn't need to
And-
see him dragging him into the hole.
No.
and honestly, I kind of wished it had been aliens. I was hoping it was aliens.
Yeah.
Especially because of the text on the radio.
Yeah, and the way
That's
the
what
way
I
that
thought. I was
room,
like, oh, and but when the guy turned around and he went, impossible. I was like, it's a
And then-
velociraptor. That's the only
Yeah,
explanation.
right.
Because it even
Well,
sounded like
sure.
one.
I'm sitting there like, okay, they got one of them like those Tesla pod houses out there. Okay. It all screamed like aliens, but it was like, no, Irish folklore.
Yeah. Well, and
Which I'm fine with something like that, and they could have pulled
But
something
they
like that.
ruined
I just think
it.
the idea could have been a lot, because they made the Wendigo work in that one movie.
yes. Well, I think that like I don't know how the book is, of course, but like the structure of the movie was all off because it's like it should have focused more because like let's be honest, they could have cut the last like 20 minutes of this movie out and spent that time of them like going into the psychosis, like the psychology of these people living in the woods, fending for themselves during the day, and then being watched at night, and how that would mentally affect you overall. And then not only that, but like they could adventure out and try to get further and further and like almost get caught and all this kind of stuff, build suspension to where they find the seal in the ground. They find all this stuff. And it's like, instead of just like, oh, well, there's a giant stone circle in the ground where history says this, that, the other. It's like, we're trying to leave this place and you want to have a history lesson now? It's like the writing was all kinds of off and all over the place, in my opinion, especially after the hour mark. It started going downhill fast.
Well, when the movie had to tell you that there was a mystical woods and
Oh
drew
yeah,
people there, like the fact that they had to more or less give you a disclaimer at the beginning of the movie says a lot.
yeah, that's true.
They're like, hey, please don't stop watching because it's not making any sense.
Yeah, and they should have, even if it wasn't aliens, and they kept it with this whole Irish folklore thing. They could have done several different misdirects during the movie of like maybe it is aliens, maybe it is this like Irish folklore, maybe it's some deranged group of people that are living in the woods, like the hills have eyes or something like
Yeah.
like we
And
don't
they
know.
show them to you like way too early.
Oh yeah,
Well,
for
I
and
felt
sure.
that
well,
way
I
about
think,
that. The reveal, I was like, "Oh, not right now. Like, I'm not ready for that."
Yeah,
well, even though they used fairies as the explanation in this movie, I think the reason why this movie didn't, or at least didn't work for me, and I'll go out on a limb and say it probably didn't work for y'all this way either, is because the three of us were exposed to a little movie that did the same fucking shit, and it was Guillermo del Toro's Mimic back in the
yeah,
90s, where he had the shape shifting thing in the subway, fucking killing people and
Yeah.
shit.
yeah.
I mean, it was ultimately the same concept in a way.
I just kept thinking like, "Mama says fairies ain't got no wings. That's why they so upset." You know,
Yeah,
like something
right.
like,
It
Um,
it
well, when
wasn't
I, well, when I,
terrible.
s- well, the whole chameleon lizard type thing at the beginning, to me, I was like, okay, it's gonna deal with something that's blending in.
well, they
Somewhat
kept
like
talking
whenever,
about the professor. I'm like, "All right, well, where's he at?
Yeah,
Does
right.
anybody know what?" I mean, apparently y'all knew the guy. Nobody ever said what happened to him, right?
it was in that footage. We finally saw that footage at the
Yeah,
end
but
where he,
they knew him. They said he was there. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. And
oh
I mean, you
well,
saw him
well
like
I get,
fighting with the thing, but I never saw him
well,
like something kill him.
yeah, no, it
well,
happened off
well,
screen.
well, wasn't that, yeah, well, wasn't that, well, it could have been that one of them imitated him because you got to think they probably,
Well, that's
there's
probably the
no,
guy looked like him at the end. So yeah, I mean,
there's no way that the three of them, the three that were already there prior to the main character showing up, there's no way they would have been like, all right, big winged scary thing, we'll go in the box. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna
then
run and die. Like that's
like
what's gonna
check
happen.
this out. The thing that, all right, the old lady, she's been one of them the whole time.
Mhm.
Hell, she's the one keeping them safe. She was like, "Don't open the door for nobody, even him. That's not him. Ask him if he knows
Yeah.
something." And it's like, "But you're one of them."
But she was an
She wanted to
outcast
get
though.
out, right?
Well, no,
She's a
like they
hybrid.
yeah, she was like the hybrid and they looked down
Yeah, the
on
half
her.
blood that
Yeah.
had been, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's that
The
whole thing,
Daywalker.
and it's like they tried to roll that into like this weird pseudo message about like acceptance, and it's like, bro, it's folklore.
Yeah, the
It's
last 20 minutes of that movie just went.
oh yeah.
I was just
And
like,
it's
"Yep,
like
there it goes."
you show up at this chick's house that survived and you're like, "Oh, the woman is one of them
Yeah.
somehow." And then you get your ass kicked for 20 fucking minutes and then it's like, "No, she's fine. I think it's
Yeah.
a little girl that's like watching me and stuff. I don't know." And it's like, "What the hell is happening right now? This chick just kicked
Well,
your ass."
And now you're cool.
well, I know that like it wasn't the point of the movie, but I wish that would like it would have been more entertaining, I guess, if there had been moments where they had really honed in on the how they show you the different like the point of no return stations. Like if you go
Mhm.
past this area, like you're fucked. And it would have
Where
been
are you?
interesting if they were like let's have people try to get the fuck out, have more than
Well,
one,
I
you
feel
know
like
what I
that was a
mean? Like
lie.
and then
Like, don't
show
go this way
different.
because you'll really get out. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll do it to show just what these creatures can truly do, which
Yeah.
would have been pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
yeah, I wanted to see what it looked like underground.
I know, right? That was
'Cause
yeah. And I'm like, so they've been trapped in this room. Like some of them's been there for a long time,
thousands of
right?
years.
No,
Well,
I'm
Right.
talking about the humans, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And they
What is the
never thought to move the table out of the way and look under the
what
rug
is
that's in the
the
middle.
well? Here's my question: is the book like a young adult novel?
No, it's
Because it
classified.
feels very young.
It's classified as Irish gothic horror.
I imagine, like most people, those who've read a book and see it get adapted, I'm sure they fucking hated this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't looked at any reviews as far as criticisms to the novel,
Yeah.
but I mean,
But
but at the same time, I can see is this Shyamalan's daughter that made
yeah.
the movie?
Yeah, I think
I
so.
could
Yeah.
see her developing with his same style, of course, because it very much had the beats of M. Night. I could see her becoming a good director and telling a good story. I could, you know,
The movie looked good.
for a debut, I was like, hell yeah. But as just a movie at large, no, pass.
Well, I think she wrote it too. Let me see. All right. Yeah. So Shyamalan's daughter wrote it. And it's like the style, the look, the aesthetic, it was all there. Cinematography was good. Maybe not focus on writing right now.
Yeah, directing.
Yeah.
Get a
Like,
writer.
I mean, yeah. Because I mean, even if the story plays out the same exact way in the book, it's like, okay, but you're using something that's a little bit more of a long form content, something that is delivered to the audience in a completely different way. Maybe use the environment and the suspense of what these creatures are to your advantage while trying to deliver a visual representation of the novel. It
Yeah.
didn't feel like that.
Well, like you know how a lot of novels obviously get cut down, like stuff gets taken out for the sake of time, and
This probably would have made a better
so
show then.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
and I wonder if there were sequences in the book that took place when they're out there in the woods and everything. I wonder if there was stuff that she was like, can't. That's not gonna make a lot of sense to the viewer
Yeah.
because I feel like with the like if you're reading the book with this type of setting, you could set up all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. And not only that, I understand it's trying to be faithful to the source material, but like why first of all, why didn't they hire like the Irish chick from Game of Thrones instead of Dakota Fanning? And if you're going to go the route of Dakota Fanning, then why not have it take place in the United
You talking about
States?
the chick that married Jon Snow?
Yes, you already
She
know.
also married him in real life. Yeah, she would have been great.
Yeah, perfect, right? Like Dakota Fanning is not enough of a name, and talk about some exquisite acting.
When she was running,
Woo! Yeah, like
well, y'all, when she was running in place,
yes,
you could tell she was because she was like, it was like a
yeah,
green screen behind her. It was like, oh,
yeah. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. I don't regret watching it. I just
I
think that
think
like
I think
it's
I
an
did
interest.
see where I did see where it made more money than it. It broke even.
Let's say it made almost 33 million worldwide. I mean, the budget had to be what, 15 then, 20?
30.
So okay, so it made 3 million over.
What it says it's sold, self financed. I am not Shyamalan. So look, when your dad's got some money laying around, small
Yeah,
loan
yeah,
of $1 million. I mean, they self financed it and sold it to Warner Brothers for 30 million. So who knows what they spent? I mean,
yeah,
they filmed the movie then sold it.
yeah.
Well, it explains the movie that we got because if they could make the decisions, clearly creative control was in the Shyamalan's hands.
Here's what you got to do though. You got to be able to she needed some writers.
Yes. M. Night needed to step up and be
Yeah.
like, listen, honey.
Well, now you see why it got self financed.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Yeah.
wasn't no studio.
Yeah.
They saw the script, was like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't hate it. I thought it was an
Nah,
interesting
man.
concept. It just could have been
Some of
executed way
those
better.
some of those shots of the forest were beautiful, but I'm a sucker for that nature shit.
Yeah. I mean, I even like the hot box they were trapped in.
That was cool.
Like, yeah, all
Very
of it was,
platformish.
That would
yes.
drive me mad, being in there and being watched by something that I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
That's what would drive me
Yeah.
crazy.
Exactly.
And the
That's the
crazy moment was real short where the kid freaked out. I was like, who thought he was going to go back and eat that parrot?
yeah,
Because they couldn't find any food.
yeah.
And she was like fucking with him about finding food. And he was like trying to tie that woman up. I'm like, come on, he can't get her down like that. Come on.
Yeah, it's like, come on now.
Like, why'd she let him do that?
Yeah,
But,
I don't know.
and then he ran back in there and I was like, oh, he's going to eat her bird. Did she? I mean, we never even see her deliver the bird.
No,
The bird was a main plot point for me.
she kept it. It's in her house now.
I probably would have eaten
like,
it too.
yeah. I'm gonna give it a 0.5 star.
For sure.
Didn't hate it, didn't love it. Would I watch it again? Probably not. But I'm not mad that I watched it.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give it no star. I
Dang.
can't. I didn't like it, man. It just wasn't good. It technicality was good, but
Well, it was all right up until a certain point.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh,
just bummed it wasn't aliens, man.
fairies. I text
Yeah.
Trav and was like, fairies?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
No, yeah, now that I remember, yeah, here's why it gets 1 star. Because when they were going through that old dusty ass room picking up old shit, they found that newspaper. And I was like, okay, it's going to be some real old shit like 1940s, 1950s, or 1800s, or whatever. 1992. I'm like, no, get the fuck
April
out of here.
1992.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Nah, I'm kidding, but
And he was dragging
Yeah, I
that
don't think-
bicycle up. I'm like, bitch, get out of that fucking hole.
I will-
man. What are you
here's my-
doing down there?
here's my question. Do y'all think it deserves to be 1.5 in comparison to our other 1.5 star movies?
I mean, I think it sits right at 1 star. I mean,
I mean,
It
if you don't
wasn't
want
a
to give it a star, don't give it nothing. I mean, that's you.
it
No,
was
I
better
mean,
than
I'm just.
Neon Demon.
Whoa.
Did you say it was better than Neon Demon?
Yeah.
Neon Demon was a revelation compared to this shit, dude. Come on. I will never
funny.
live that down. I'll say that's still the greatest pick this podcast ever had.
Definitely a deep cut.
Might have to revisit it. You know what I mean?
Ahead of its time.
Some
It
would
was-
say the demon was neon.
I say it was
definitely
Freon.
A24-ish before that even existed. I will say that. So, but yeah, I think 1 stars. I think it's good. I think that's where it needs to sit. In my honest opinion.
All right, guys. Are you ready for a flashback?
I mean, dude, like, what the fuck, man?
Okay, so before you got on, Adam, I'd made mention of this with Griffin. The whole idea of the Force Virgins, like them talking about it being a concentrated area of the Force, shouldn't that have been the plot of the show?
Well, here's my question.
I
on
still
that.
don't know what the plot of the show is.
Yeah, it's yeah,
I mean,
right. Yeah.
So we'll find that at the end.
My
Well,
thing
apparently
is
they're not even twins now.
Well, they're
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 the
two
same,
halves. Yeah,
that they split.
They're the power of two.
the power of many. What was it? Um, but my thing is like, are they going to explain away the Vergence thing as like, since the Coven was there and that many like quote unquote Force users were collected, because they use the Force different, which I mean, it is what it is. But
Dude, did
like,
you guys see that big, bright, red, shining crystal in the background at one of them shots?
no.
It's like early on, man. I think it was during the sequence where the twins were like talking to him, and the one's like, "I want to be a Jedi, Mama," and the other one's like, "Fuck those motherfuckers." And the off in the distance, I noticed they had like a big, like it looked like a kyber crystal, and I'm sitting there like, they're the Sith. Witches don't matter.
We don't use
They're
that
the
word no more.
Sith. They're
Yeah.
the Sith.
Like the idea of the Vergence and stuff is pretty interesting, and that's like
Yeah.
like you said, that should have been what the show's about. But like, here's my thing: these coven of witches is so powerful that they can like take control of someone's mind, right?
Yeah.
But they're no match for Trinity.
So like, if this is a thing that Force users can do, then why haven't the Sith like harnessed this power and done something like this?
Right? Like, first off, suddenly we can just like give forced lobotomies.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was cool as fuck, but that's kind of like that sequence in Iron Man 2 when he fucking lasers all those drones and War Machine's like, kind of should have went with that. Kind of should have led
Yeah.
with that, you know? But
And
like this
the
episode was a flashback, but I feel like this should have the audience should have known this bit of plot device
yes, going into everything.
so much earlier. It shouldn't have been part of the mystery of the show.
Yeah. Well, and before the mother was killed, she started turning into like space dust or something, right?
She was forced
She was gonna leave.
possessing.
Well, like
Still don't
sh-
understand that trick.
They were
but
traveling with
okay.
that.
well, so she started turning into like force dust or space witch dust,
Well,
whatever
no,
it is.
she no, that's like possession. Like she possessed the Wookiee. Remember?
No, I'm talking about like yeah, but it wasn't her. Like it was the coven that did the Wookiee.
But
But
they
like
all did that to travel to the other room. That was she was gonna leave
yeah,
and
and
got
then
stabbed in the process.
yeah, and then so whenever she started doing it, then one of the girls, it started happening to her, and that's when Saul started like flipping out, and that's whenever he killed the mom, right? So it's like, is are the twins, instead of it being like a two-person thing, are they just like a younger split off version of the mom in some weird capacity?
Well, are they a forced dyad?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the way that they make it seem, it's not a forced dyad because that's between.
What? Hello? Hello? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I
Technical
heard it's not a forced
difficulties.
dyad.
Well,
No, well,
like
the idea of the forced dyad is like there's two, right? There's two that are connected via force, right?
yeah.
Okay, but like with the way that the show implies it, it seems like they're a triad because like the mom forcing the daughter to almost like turn into like space witch dust was like it felt like that, like those three were connected in some way,
Well,
shape, or
is that technically is that pretty much the ability that Palpatine's been carried on at the end of Rise of Skywalker when he was like, "I'm all the Sith."
mm,
Like instead of that being like his big like, you know, fuck you. Is that was that a literal term now? Like, is this like is the power of like the Sith, the full incarnation of the dark side? Is it just a constant like body hop?
well, but they're not Sith though, right?
I'm gonna die on the hill of saying they are Sith. Like they're not gonna come out and say it. We're probably not gonna hear that word. But anyone who's been watching Star Wars in any capacity is gonna be like, yeah, kind of in the same way that Jerome in Gotham is not the Joker, but we know he's the Joker.
Right. I don't know, man. Because like with them having their abilities to use the Force is different from Jedi and Sith, and they've kind
Well, I
of
mean,
went out.
well, is it really different though, man? Because when May started flipping her shit, Mama number two straight up looked at her and said, "Yes, May, get angry." Which is literally like basically saying, "Hey, embrace the power of the dark side."
Yeah, and which is an interesting thing because it's like you got Mama number two that's like embrace your darkness, and then you got Mama number one that's like more, like let's just try to work
Let's
this
not do
out.
this with violence.
Yes, let's try to. Yeah, exactly. And the kids are the future. Blah 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 whatever. Which is like kind of goes like they're neither because of that. Because you got OSHA that takes after the traits of the one mom, and you've got May that takes after the traits of the other mom. So it's I don't know. It's such a weird, like it's so convoluted.
But there was one shot in that sequence that I was like, I felt myself being like, why am I enjoying this right now? And it was obviously the Wookiee fight or whatever, but it was that shot where Torben's to the left, the Wookiee's to the right, Soul's in the middle, she's turning into the ghost. It's when he does the kill shot.
Mm-hmm.
That slow mo of everybody moving, and you see the lightsaber just come out, and then he impales her.
Yeah.
I was like, that's pretty fucking epic.
I mean, the
I
choreography
mean,
for the
it
show has been
means,
great.
and uh, oh, dude from Game of Thrones playing the young Torben,
Yeah.
like he was. I saw a thing on X where someone was comparing his little lightsaber twirls and shit to Hayden Christensen stuff in episode 3, and I was like, I see what they're saying now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like, dude was straight. He was going full color guard with that bitch, man.
Yeah. But now we've got the backstory, and it's like, what
Don't
did
make the
they?
show better.
Well, well, no, and it's like, what did you really accomplish here? It's like, okay, we're looking at everything from the perspective of the Jedi. That's supposed to be based on the show so far, the quote unquote bad guys of the show, and it's like, what did they technically do wrong by showing up, by just being there? Like
Yeah.
you've got Saul that's worried about the kids,
Hmm.
whether it's his business or not, he's still worried about the kids. And you've got some extremists over here.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
like, it's like, I'm just,
well,
it's
to me,
just so all over the place,
the
man.
one, the one, the one saving aspect about this episode, or at least with some of the choices that were made character wise and stuff, I did like the fact that Saul wanted to turn himself in.
Yeah.
He was like, "We fucked up, like bad."
Yeah.
But you know, they make the point. They're like, well, if you did all that, and what the fuck was all this for? Because now you got the kid,
Yeah.
you got the Padawan you wanted so bad. Now you want to go like completely like I see where they were like, do you want to preserve the system at play right now and abandon the kid, or do you just keep your fucking mouth shut and we train her to be a Jedi, and a very powerful one possibly because of her high midichlorian count or
Which is why
whatever,
you would want to take them, because you don't want them to be bad guys.
Yeah,
You know?
which and the fact that it wasn't that they just swooped in and took the kid. The kid did choose to want to go and be a Jedi.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's
Man.
just like it's once again it's almost like making a Russian doll where
Nesting doll.
like on the outside you have this clearly defined message that we've been seeing for the past 6 episodes. And then inside there's another one that's like, all right, well there's this. We'll look at it through this perspective, like, and then look at, you know, everything's just getting like somebody threw a bunch of shit on a canvas and smeared it and tried to do like a weird version of Picasso or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, the writing's bad. And
It is. It is, man.
That's the biggest problem with the show is the writing. It's like we're going to focus more on this stupid ass agenda bullshit and trying to push messages into it than writing a really good, gripping, interesting story. Because think about it. The next episode's the last episode.
Finale. Yep.
We're picking up with Osha is with the Asian guy.
The bad guy.
Yeah. And then May has been tased by Saul, who's going God knows where. And it's like, what are we going to accomplish? And is May and Osha, who might I remind you, May's had like 8 different script flips through this whole show where she's like, it's my sister and I love her. And no, I want to kill everybody. Like, are they going to meet up and make them fight? Like, what are we doing? Like, where are we going?
Are we gonna find out that May has some sort of Sith remnant in her? I'm calling it Sith. I don't give a shit. Which, whatever. But is there some sort of remnant in her that's causing her to be mentally unstable?
I think that's too clever for this writing team, Trav.
We don't give them too much credit.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But I mean, there's an exterior question that's not relevant to the plot, but is the show itself going to get renewed? Because this could be it for this stuff.
It
So,
probably
I
is.
mean,
It's not. This episode doesn't have the lowest rating.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because the
well, I will say
I'll
this
take
was
that
the
back.
most.
No, I'm talking about
this-
the next one, the final one. It does have the lowest rating. My bad. Oh, the Wookiee fight was the best part.
Well,
Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
This episode was arguably the best one in the show, but it was aired at the wrong time because it's so late in the season.
Yeah.
And it had details that would have made some of the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't know why they chose to hold all this back until the very end. Like it ain't Lost, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
It ain't
Well, like
Breaking
this show-
Bad.
Yeah, and the show
It's
itself could
fucking
have
Star
done.
Wars, man.
It could have done better by allowing the audience to know more than what the characters themselves know.
Yeah,
I think it would have
exactly.
benefited. It would have benefited the overall storytelling.
Yeah, agreed 100%.
They thought they were gonna be clever.
Yeah.
All right,
well,
we'll reveal it. Wait. We go through all these episodes, and you're like, "What the fuck's happening?" And we'll reveal it in the 7th one.
Yeah.
And it's a flashback
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, we're not gonna move the plot along at all. We're gonna take a step. We'll be right back.
All of this shit should have been in the flashback episode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And did you see how they like different angles this time?
Yes.
of the same shit. It was like, okay, there we go.
Yeah. Here's my predictions for the last episode. Saul's gonna go to the planet where the bad guy and
Yeah.
OSHA's
You think
at.
they'll have a final battle?
I think that they'll fight. I think OSHA and May's gonna fight, and then they're gonna have come to some kind of agreement or conclusion. I think that the Saul's gonna walk away. I think everybody's gonna survive.
You don't think they'll
I,
kill him?
no, I don't think. I think Saul, because what are we gonna do in season 2? I think if anything happens, then May will
They
kill
killed
the
all those other
Sith.
people.
Well, May will kill the
Well,
Sith and then take
well,
up that mantle.
who's gonna be who's gonna be the dude's master?
Here's what I picture happen though. Like, this is how bad this show is. Like, Saw gets killed, and then they're like, oh no, like then they decide to make up, and it's like, but you just killed Saw.
Yeah,
That's the
I
way
could
this
see
show's
that.
been going. Like
Yeah,
they kill him, then they have their moment where she's gonna kill her, but she can't do it.
yeah.
You're my sister, you know.
Yeah,
I love you
I think Saul will be dead by the end of the episode.
for nothing, because they'll
They're
make up
gonna
and realize that they
crap.
have to take out the other dude and one of them's gonna get the helmet. Or hear me out, because it's the same chick playing both characters. Do they fucking form as one?
I wondered that
composite, composite fucking.
Because they split them.
Yeah.
Well, it's like like if one of them dies, like their soul merges, like the for some reason because Sith magic, like one of them smokes out into the other.
All I'm saying is those witches are real upset about separating them.
Yeah, right.
There's got to be a reason behind that. They're like, they twins. You can't separate twins.
Because my thing is that, like, usually when we see a Sith out on the hunt for an apprentice of any kind, or with in this term an acolyte, because he's getting ready to overthrow his master.
Yeah. I'm ready for the last episode so we can be done with it. Honestly, that's where I'm at with this show.
I don't think it'll get renewed, but I don't know if I want to see the second season.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with it.
But it's been so low that I don't know if it will.
I think it's testament that this episode was the best in the series because we actually talked
Why do they always do that? Why is it always the one before the last?
We talked about the show instead of just how bad it sucked, you know?
You know, like it's always the episode before the last one.
The penultimates, man.
Where they go all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got a little bit of movie news I'm gonna hit real quick here. So per what's on Netflix, Godzilla -1 minus color will hit the streaming service on August the 1st of 2024, giving fans a chance to see the kaiju and somewhat of a throwback to his humble beginnings.
Godzilla's to see this version.
Yeah, me too. We are now able to announce that Godzilla -1 minus color, which we have been working on for a long time, rather than just making it monochrome, it is a cut by cut. I had them make adjustments while making full use of various mats as if they were creating a new movie. What I was aiming for was a style that looked like it was taken by masters of monochrome photography. We were able to unearth the texture of the skin and the details of the scenery that were hidden in the photograph data. Then a frightened Godzilla, just like the one in the documentary, appeared. By eliminating color, a new sense of reality emerges. Please live and resist further fear at the theater.
So this will be different than the one, because they put one in the theater for a little bit.
No, it says the absence of color from Godzilla -1 is not only an attempt to take audiences back to the original 1954 version, but also to give the film a documentary sensibility. Upon the announcement in December 2023 that the film would receive its monochrome release in Japan, director Takashi Yamazaki explained the process behind what went into creating the new version, and that was the quote.
Okay.
So they didn't just put a black and white filter over it. They actually
Well, I thought the
meticulously
one they
went
did in
in.
the theater was different than this one. Like it made it sound like he just finished it. It's ready,
Oh no, no,
but
no!
it's the
This was
same.
yeah.
Yeah. The one they're selling with they got a box set.
Yeah, that's gonna be. It's been a long time since I busted out the wallet for a release, but I think I'm gonna have to get a physical copy of that.
I mean, look at this picture. Look how detailed this dude is
Yeah.
in black
I
and white.
mean,
That looks
that
cool.
shit's gonna look crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
So
Probably
I'm
gonna look better
excited.
than the original.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, August the 1st, it will be dropping. So we've got almost 2 weeks until that bad boy drops. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for that. So Saltburn director, hot off Saltburn's acclaim, filmmaker Emerald Fennell has secured her next feature film. In recent years, Fennell has become one of the most acclaimed and polarizing filmmakers. Following her work on the hit television series Killing Eve, she won the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay for Promising Young Woman. Her latest film, Saltburn, might have failed to make a splash at the Academy Awards, but it crossed over into mainstream popularity thanks to going viral on social media sites like TikTok. All eyes have been on Fennell, on what Fennell will do next, and she has decided to adapt a piece of classic literature. Fennell announced on social media site X, formerly Twitter, that her next film will be an adaptation of Wuthering Heights, published in 1847 by author Emily Bronte, initially under her pen name Ellis Bell. Wuthering Heights is a classic piece of Gothic literature that follows two families known as the Earnshaws and the Lintons through the years, with a major focus being the love story between orphan Heathcliff and Catherine Earnshaw Linton, the daughter of the man who adopted him. Currently, no cast members have been announced or the release date. But
Funny. They did a movie back in 2011. I kind of thought when I heard that name, I was like, it sounds familiar.
yeah, who did the 2011 version of it?
Adrian Arnold.
Mm,
Let's see what she's done. Nothing. This must be a foreign.
yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a Brit, isn't she?
I'm interested to see.
The Murder on the Dance Floor for sure.
Well, that style of filmmaking and cinematography brought to a classic literature piece.
Had a good eye. I mean, that movie looked good. Like,
Yeah, I mean, and Saltburn was set in modern day, but it felt like a
it
Hammer
did.
horror film. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it had that feel, that grit, that you know. So I'm interested to see if that transitions over, which I haven't seen any of the other stuff like Killing Eve. I haven't saw that or Promising Young Woman. So I
About
might,
her movies?
yes, yeah. So I don't know how all that stuff, how all that style trends. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm.
But
I feel like the movie will either make you feel really uncomfortable or it's gonna be just very boring because you can't relate to it.
I hope it's both.
I mean, I'm all for feeling weird during a movie because I feel like if that's the goal of the story, fine. But I mean, I don't know. Saltburn was a trip though.
It was a trip.
Yeah, it was a robo trip, dude. But yeah, Wuthering Heights.
Dude, the
So,
motherfucker when he ripped that damn feeding tube out,
oh yeah,
like fucking
And dance through the house.
yeah, coke the fuck out.
I mean,
Wild.
I mean,
dude,
It's
Talk about the definition of manifesting it. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
wanted
he
them
talk
fucking
about a
laws.
visual representation of someone who's lost their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
Killed them all.
Next up here, Alec Baldwin. So, Rush shooting victim's widower speaks out about Alec Baldwin's trial dismissal, seeks a new trial. So, then the involuntary manslaughter trial of Alec Baldwin may have been dismissed by Judge Mary Marlowe Sommer following revelations that evidence was withheld by the prosecution, but the actor could soon find himself back in court as Halna Hutchins' widower looks to take the case back to the trial with all the evidence. Although Baldwin and the Rush production came to a settlement with Matthew Hutchins almost 2 years ago, it's been that long.
Yeah.
The shocking outcome of Baldwin's criminal case has seemingly instigated a renewed need for the actor to face a full and complete trial. Speaking for Hutchins' lawyer Brian J. Parrish told Deadline, "We respect the court's decision. We look forward to presenting all the evidence to a jury and holding Mr. Baldwin accountable for his actions in the senseless death of Halna Hutchins." It's wild. The state's willful withholding of information was intentional and deliberate. There is no way for the court to right this wrong. That's what the judge said.
Did you guys see the clip of Baldwin in court?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, it's already been thrown out once. It's already
and it
gone
was a
through.
dumb reason. They were like, it was the bullets
Yeah.
that was on set. Okay.
Yeah.
When they filed the evidence, they filed it under like another case. So it wouldn't show up in this case. So they didn't know it was going to be evidence. But here's my thing. How would you not know
Yeah.
that the fucking bullets
Yeah.
would not be evidence? I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
sure they
right.
would. I mean,
yeah.
What are we doing? Like, there's too much red tape on court, dude.
Yeah,
That's
for real.
wild. Like, but it's almost
Kangaroo
like them
court.
being like, oh, you didn't let them know you was gonna bring the murder weapon in here, the gun. Do I have to? I mean,
Yeah.
it's the thing that killed her.
Yeah.
I feel like this was something, but that judge had been like, kind of, I don't know. I had a feeling that he was, you know what I mean? He was gonna walk away from that trial anyway.
I
Right.
feel like the wrong people. I feel like Baldwin is on. I don't think it should be Alec Baldwin's trial. I think it should be the production company that was in part to
That
make
he
the
was
film.
a producer on.
Yeah,
He
but
was
at the
helping.
same,
Like he was someone though.
like,
He wasn't just an
I'm
actor.
not saying his hands are
He
clean.
also
of
didn't
this.
do the, you know, the gun training.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like on
There's
his
a lot
part,
of people
yeah,
that could be sued here. He could be sued.
exactly.
The
Like I
person
think
that brought real bullets there could be in trouble.
I think
but-
just holding him solely accountable, I think is a bad
Yeah.
move though.
But as an actor, you're trained to check the weapons you're handed.
Yep.
You're told to do that. You go over that weapon, you look at it.
Yeah.
They check it before they hand it to you. You check it. You look at the bullets. You know, it's not a good time to be lazy.
No.
Oh,
Like,
for
fuck it,
sure.
and
For
just pull the
for
trigger.
sure. Oh, for sure. Did
Like,
Baldwin
as much as
fucking
I
drop
don't
the
like
ball?
him, I see what you're saying, but at the same time,
Yeah,
he did pull the
yeah.
trigger, and then he tried to lie and say he didn't do it. It's like, but you did.
Now, yeah. Now that, yes. Now the thing is that he absolutely did. He absolutely did, and they're not good. But I feel like other people that's also tied to that gun need to be held accountable to it as well.
Yeah.
Like he oversaw it, but like some of the people too, like the whatever agency they used to cover
Well,
the
they already
firearm
charged
aspect
the
of the
Armory.
movie.
They charged her.
Oh, what
She'd
was
been
the
charged.
consensus on
I
that?
can't remember. I mean, I'm pretty sure she got something, but I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay. I
But-
didn't know that.
I don't think they can get money out of her. Her thing would be jail time.
Oh, okay.
I think you kind of have to. You have to sue the person that pulled the trigger
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
in a wrongful
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess I believe
We
he
got a
should
weird court
be in
system.
court. 100%. I do believe he should be in
And
court.
he was
100%,
crying
I think,
like he got
yeah.
out of it. He, justice was served this day. No,
But I guess accountability should be more broader for this trial. Like there should be more people being lined up to be like, hey, you did this, you're gonna, in violation of whatever policy or lack thereof. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm sure it's going to go back to trial at some point, and we'll see what the outcome of that's going to be.
The girl was sentenced to 18 months in prison for involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
Armor.
So she's currently
That happened
serving.
in April. I remember seeing that it was going on. It was like, oh, they're about to throw her under the bus, which was her job. She wasn't even there that day. A producer walked over there and put bullets in that gun and handed it to him.
I mean, how
You
does
shouldn't
that
be
get allowed to
touching the gun. I mean, it's a
happen?
low budget.
Yeah.
Nobody gave a fuck movie.
That's one
That's
of
why
those
you don't
things
fuck
where,
around with guns, man. They're not toys.
yeah, that's one of those things where it's like on a movie set, it's got to be compartmentalized, and everyone who is assigned
why
a job
Brandon
should be
Lee's
doing
not alive.
only. Yeah, it should be the only thing. Like if you are the head mic guy and all you do is walk around with a boom stand, that boom stand better be the only fucking thing you're touching on
Yeah.
that set. I mean, with respect to
Well, look,
set design, with respect to all that shit,
He
you
just
know?
doesn't want that charge on his name. I mean,
No.
I get that, I guess, but he needs to settle out of court or something. This dude's worth $70 million.
Yeah.
He can pay something
Mm-hmm.
to this family. I rest my case, Your Honor.
Yana.
Yeah, I'd be in there.
May I
Court would
approach
like
the
to put in evidence a bag of bullets, Your Honor.
bench?
Oh shit.
Fucking skit. That was so funny. Were you referencing that Jamie Foxx, that other dude's skit? Do you
Me?
guys remember that? Yeah.
No.
It was an SNL skit. I think it was Jason Sudeikis was playing like a Colonel Sanders style fucking judge.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw the
I think I
clip.
did
Jamie
see that.
Foxx is playing the bailiff.
Yeah.
That shit was funny, dude.
It's just weird. There's just always some really smart lawyer that has a southern accent. It's like, how did you fucking you get here?
Yeah. Yana took
I studied. Yeah, it's always an over exaggerated
I got my
Annabelle
12
South
degree
guy.
law degree, Harvard University. I'm like, I bet they treated you nice.
I do love my collards with a little side of mash.
Like,
Mhm.
where are you from? You know he's from Savannah.
Yeah. I'm from down south.
There's a whole lot of nothing in South Georgia.
It's Georgia, but it's got palm trees.
It's
Mhm.
got it's palm trees.
Yana
does.
is
That's
human.
good.
Those umbrella
That's
palms.
fucking great. We have a beach, or we think we do.
So next up here, Jay and Silent Bob 3. Right? So as always, Smith's Jay and Silent Bob 3 will feature many of his usual cohorts, as well as the usual budget-conscious production that will make use of a few specific custom props and location filming. In a recent post on his Instagram account, Smith shared a teasing look at one such prop, the Necrobabacon. If this sounds familiar, this is probably
I
because
love it. I love
takes
it already.
a lot of inspiration from the demonic Necronomicon Ex Mortis from Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell's Evil Dead universe. Rather than summoning deadites, though, this baseball cap sporting tome has a different effect on those who read its cursed pages. As Smith explained, behold the Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead film careers. Kidding. It's actually called the Necrobabacon. I commissioned Nick Brown to unearth this ancient evil tomb that features in the new Jay and Silent Bob flick. Jay Muse and I will start shooting later this year. The Necrobabacon doesn't swallow your soul, but legend has it that misuse of the book will leave the reader forever silent.
Oh,
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I think I've had a change of heart, man. Like, because I was critical of the idea of like Jan Silent Bob sequels now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
but
honestly,
that's
these
the
two
best thing Kevin
characters.
Smith has, dude. It's Jay and
But
Bob.
I also, but think about it. Like Jay and Bob, they are basically going the Ernest route with them is perfect.
Yeah.
Just each
Yeah.
movie being
Like
just like a little
Moose, this leads to
secularized
Moose. Moose
adventure.
Jaws could even be in this. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're getting weird
You
with it,
know,
like
like I just love the idea that like
they're
he
cheap
could
to
technically
make.
he could drop Jay and Bob in any kind of crazy funny story and it would work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Necrobobicon, that's great.
Bruce Campbell's gonna make
So,
an appearance.
oh,
I
for
think he
sure,
will.
right? Yeah. So the
It'd be
inclusion of the if he plays a version of Ash, if the View Askew universe version of
dude,
Ash shows up,
hear me out.
Or he's dressed like Silent
with
Bob.
with with the idea that it's a kind of a nod to pop culture and with Smith's sensibilities, what if he recreated the scene where they go to consult Ash and he's at the bar and it's like Magneto and Wolverine or Magneto and Charles going to Wolverine in first class and all it is just Bruce Campbell puffing a cigar. Go, you know, Jay's like, "Hey man," and he just looks at him and goes, "Fuck off," and that's
right.
it.
Says the inclusion of the Necrobobicon is clearly going to provide that escape from reality in Jay and Silent Bob 3, but exactly how prominently it will feature in the movie is something that Smith is not ready to divulge just yet. With filming set for later this year, we can probably expect to discover all the answers about Smith's Evil Dead parody sometime in 2025. In the meantime, the 4:30 movie is expected to hit theaters later this year after securing distribution through Saban.
Well, like
Uh,
they've already. Well, I don't understand they think the supernatural element's something new. Like the View Askew universe was art. They already showed that there was that stuff going on because of Dogma. Which wouldn't that be cool if they kind of did a backdoor sequel with it?
yeah, I mean
Like
they're
that.
prophets, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Get Alanis Morissette to come back as God.
oh God, one hand in my pocket.
Dude,
That's
I
why
went
she
down a
couldn't talk.
weird.
She read the book.
Yeah,
I went down a weird Alanis Morissette rabbit hole the other day. Like, I can't
did you
believe
order a
dude from
shirt?
no, I almost did, man. Full House. Dude, whenever she was married to dude from Full House,
Yeah,
I never knew the backstory on her. I thought Jagged Little Pill was a one and done and that's all she needed. No, dude, she was like the Paula Abdul of Canada.
mm-hmm. That's
Had
who
no
they.
idea.
So
It still is, I
the
think.
yeah, the chick from How I Met Your Mother was kind of based on her in a way, like the character, because she was like a Canadian pop star or whatever. So it's kind of based on her whole Alanis thing that was going on.
I don't think she ever married that dude. I think she just dated him.
Yeah,
What fucked her up?
Well,
Because Jagged Little Pill was nothing like that shit before.
good
I
documentary
mean,
on the making of that record.
yeah. But Smith goes on to talk about Shannon Doherty. Of course, she passed away last couple of days. She
What?
was in Mallrats. Yeah,
Rip.
I didn't know that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, the three all played out already.
There's been way more than
There's
three of
been way
them.
more
I
than
mean,
three in the past
But
week.
I mean the monster's been fed.
But
he
yeah,
overate.
so this is what Smith had to say about it. Shannon was a true talent and she became a good friend. But lest anyone forget, she was the only reason Mallrats got greenlit in '95. That's because Shannon was one of the most famous people on the planet, and the fact that she picked Mallrats as her first follow up to 90210 made that movie happen.
Cool on her.
Yeah.
Cool on Kev for giving credit where it's due.
So last up here, Marvel fans demand new Black Panther in MCU following William Hurt's recasting. So MCU fans are now calling for the studio to recast the role of T'Challa. Following the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman in 2020, Marvel Studios announced that they would not be recasting his role ahead of 2022's Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Instead, the sequel incorporated the actor's death, opening with a funeral scene for T'Challa, which honored the late actor. However, the newest trailer for Captain America Brave New World has some fans calling for Marvel Studios to finally recast the role after seeing the first look at Harrison Ford in the film as Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross. Longtime fans of the MCU will know that Thunderbolt Ross was first played by William Hurt in The Incredible Hulk. Hurt reprised the role several times in the MCU, including in Captain America Civil War, Black Widow, and Avengers Endgame. After Hurt's passing in 2022, it was announced that Ford would take over the role in the upcoming Captain America Brave New World, in which Ross plays a major part as Red Hulk. This decision frustrated some fans who questioned why William Hurt could be replaced in the MCU, but Chadwick Boseman wasn't recast. The upset fans have taken to Twitter to voice their displeasure at the decision. Underneath a post appreciating how well the MCU recasts actors, some disgruntled fans highlighted that Boseman wasn't recast. Remove Black Panther 2 from the timeline, make a new one and with a recast, one fan wrote. I mean, Wakanda Forever it didn't really, but it left it open enough to where they could technically recast. Not really I mean, here's the
Well,
thing.
it's going to go to his son eventually, right?
Well, yeah, yeah.
There you
And not
go.
only that, but like with them recasting, putting Harrison Ford in the role of Thunderbolt Ross, like they didn't like on screen honor the not really honor, but like show the death and burial or anything
Yeah,
of
we just
Thunderbolt
came back
Ross.
and
Yeah.
he's gone.
So with Black Panther, like them doing, the whole funeral segment at the beginning of the new Black Panther movie or the last Black Panther movie, I guess, it kind of like throws a wrench in that plan. And honestly, they kind of fucked up the writing of all of the Black Panther movies because, like, if they would have kept Killmonger alive, he would have been the perfect person, in my opinion, to take over the mantle of Black Panther. But
But
they
they
had to
killed
fuck
him
that up.
before Chadwick died, right?
Yes,
Yeah, they
yeah.
didn't know.
Well, yeah, but they should have never killed Killmonger to begin with. Like that's where they fucked up those Black Panther movies so fucking bad. Like, and that's one of the biggest
Well,
gripes for Marvel for me.
You sound
well, it's
surprised.
the well, it's all boiled down to the fact that, and it's like what Marvel's had for a long time, and they've always had a villain problem. Like, just think of how many times we've watched a Marvel film where they had a villain that could have easily shown up in a sequel. They could have had a good old fashioned, mustache twirl, I'll get you next time moment, and they spared it and just killed him off.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that like Zemo, right? They brought Zemo back. Zemo was kind of like an anti-hero if you really wanted to look at it that way in certain regards. Killmonger was the same way. They could wasn't technically the bad guy. He was trying to do the best thing for not only Wakanda but for the world. And it was that whole political, side note that they were trying to lean on there with all that stuff. But they could have kept him around and he could have become an ally. Like, I don't know, man. It could have been like
Well,
Thor and Loki.
exactly.
And they
But
fucked it up.
that's the thing. There's still villains that are alive in the MCU that are far more interesting and have already that initial thing going on where when they show up, the audience is going to be like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Yeah.
you know, you got like Zemo, for instance. Um, uh, what's his name? Namor.
Yeah.
Um, like fucking Kingpin. I know some of these characters are coming back, and it's with the idea that they'll come back, that they leave them alive anyway. But it's that all these other properties have come out, and they're doing like instead of it's like Agatha All Along does not look interesting.
You're not gonna watch it.
Well, I mean, I haven't watched Echo. If that says
I haven't
anything,
either, but it's different.
Yeah,
um, I mean, I would really hope that the Agatha show has a lot of stuff that ties into, a lot of, maybe it's the weird television entry point for showing more supernatural stuff, like kind of how we got with Werewolf by Night, how we got with a little tease of it with you know, uh Kit Harington and Eternals and stuff. And because they're setting up to introduce it, but I don't know why they're spending so much time doing this when all this time could have been spent setting up the X-Men and leading up to Deadpool.
well, but you gotta think about it like this though, Trev. It's like they tried to go the Star Wars route and it didn't work out for them, so they had to pivot hard. And then the stuff that happened with Jonathan Majors did not help the situation for them whatsoever. So, like, especially the Jonathan Majors stuff, I would say more so than
Especially, I mean,
yeah,
changed the outcome
um,
of the whole game
yeah.
plan.
They had to like full hard pivot, and I think that they're like Deadpool's going to be that hard pivot, and they're already talking like they're supposed to be doing Secret Wars, they're supposed to be doing Kang Dynasty, but that may be all like Kang may be resolved soon, and they may be leading right into Avengers versus X-Men based off of the Deadpool movie. Those are the rumors that are going around.
But I mean, and I feel like it's an argument you and I made a while back, and it's that Avengers versus X-Men, it needs a very good, not a Thanos lengthy amount of time of setup, but it does need a few years. Like build some tension up to where by the time we get to where it's X-Men and Avengers, it makes sense why good guys are fighting.
Yeah, well, they need to treat it better than they treated Civil War. And I'm not
Oh,
shitting on
that
Civil
that goes
War.
but that goes without saying though, Griff. Like that movie was a letdown in terms of you know building. Like they tried their best to take what they had to justify why it's going on, but that was such a universe wide or comic book universe wide event that the execution just didn't. The landing couldn't be stuck.
Mhm. But yeah, I
and
mean,
and I mean, and X-Men and Avengers is like way longer than that story. Way
yeah,
by a very large margin. Like
right.
I mean just go hold up the 8 issues of Civil War compared to the entire run of X-Men versus Avengers, and you're like, what the fuck? Like they're
Yeah.
like there needs to be build up, and I don't think we're gonna get it, and it's gonna cause what's gonna be. It's gonna be that same of and I hate that I keep borrowing from that our shitty Dark Tower review, man. But it's a case of they're making some of the movies to like X Men versus Avengers. If they were to drop it now with just using Deadpool as the precursor for it, that's gonna be. And if they go hard as fuck, if they're like, okay, this is our one shot to really get the audience back, let's dump all the money, let's get all the celebrities, let's just do the damn thing. And it's all spectacle based, it's well written, it's all that shit. It's gonna leave a lot of audience members that typically haven't picked up a comic a day in their life. They're just here for the movie journey. It's gonna be like being part of an inside joke that they don't know they're not in on.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how all that shakes out. But I do think that like bringing someone else in to play the Black Panther role, even if they can't technically recast T'Challa because of the funeral sequence that happened in Wakanda Forever, I do think that they need to bring that in there, and they need to have the sister focus on like running running the country and
But you just do a little
basically
time jump, and his
Well,
son's
I was
now
gonna
Black
say,
Panther.
I was gonna say, yeah,
I
like
mean,
because of the TVA,
he's old enough.
because of the TVA, because of the merging of the Fox universe, just have a moment, just borrow from. I mean, I hate to retcon some shit, but sometimes it's necessary. Fucking pull some Cable shit, pull an older version of young Chala, which that's gonna create the thing of, well, why not just go get Chala back? But for the sake of having that established, make Chala's death a quote canon event. Go cable the fuck out of Chala from the future. Bring young Chala back. Let him be Black Panther. Bam.
But you could just use his boy.
No, that's what I mean. His boy's
Oh,
named Chala too. That's what I mean. I'm sorry, I wasn't like specific enough on it. I know they're.
but you don't have to do
uh,
any kind of like. It's time for my son for you to step in your father's footsteps. Bam, Black Panther.
I think that they were
Oh
going to
yeah.
try to set up his son to be like a Young Avengers thing, which we
Yeah,
talked about before, and I don't think that that's going to happen. And if it does, it's not going to be what we think it's going to be. I don't think, but I think that if
I
they
think
do
we're
Secret
gonna get
Wars,
we're gonna get
oh
the new Avengers before we get the young Avengers. That's for sure.
yeah, oh yeah, I agree. Um, but if they do Secret Wars kind of the same way that they did the most recent run of Secret Wars, they could have Wakanda merge with a different version of Wakanda. You know,
Battle World would be a lot of fun to watch play out.
yeah. But yeah,
Um,
we'll
it
see.
re- it re- and it references enough modern pop culture that it would be quote fun for the whole family.
Right.
but that's the beauty of a suit.
Yeah, you can put
Anybody can put
anybody
it
in
on.
it. Yeah. I'm gonna put one on here in a minute. You know what I'm saying? My birthday suit. Bet.
I'm waiting for the opening lick of Hell's Bells to play and Iron Man show back up because it's bound to happen eventually.
I think that during Secret Wars we're gonna get Iron Man, but I don't think it's gonna be Robert Downey.
Well, I hope personally I hope that they're able to bring him back for just long enough to do because I thought it was one of the coolest scenes in Age of Ultron, but they could find a way to do it and apply it to either Secret Wars or even you know, the build up to it or some shit like that. But have it to where Wolverine kills someone in the past, goes to the future to consult someone, finds an alternate Tony Stark, and Stark's just like, "You fucking dipshit.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? You should have did this." And then he goes back in time, right the wrong, and everything. I've always enjoyed that point in that arc. I think it was in Age of Ultron when that happens because it's like Ultron's manifesting himself again, and Wolverine does some shit, and Iron Man's like, "Dude, you could have just asked me, and I could have made a computer virus to wipe him out."
Yeah.
And well, Logan's like, "Well, fuck." Gets the virus, goes back in time, but because of the time paradoxes, he has to kill himself because he has to go back. He's occupying two places in the same time because whatever. And so there's this whole moment where like the past Wolverine tells the present Wolverine, he's like, "Do what you got to do, bub," and just takes the death fucking like a champ, man.
Take the D for the
He's like,
V.
yeah, he's like, "Come on, let's do it." And he
Sometimes you got to do
fucking
it.
stares at the roses while fucking homeboy kills himself.
Hell yeah. But yeah, they'll figure something out. I mean, the last Black Panther movie didn't get the greatest reviews. I think Black Panther's a great character, and what they're building in Wakanda in the overall story of the MCU is pretty interesting. So I think that they'll figure something out. I think
Well,
Feige will We'll
Well,
make it
once
work.
again, they fucked up and killed off a villain that could have been a good build-up, and that's Claw.
Oh yeah, I agree.
But yeah,
But yeah, I'm ready for these trailers, man. I'm ready, man, for these trailers, man.
All right, man. All right, you let my
I'm-
that skinny pig dog, man. But yeah.
Diener, Diener 89.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? What's this
We'll
about?
see.
Is
I'm
it going to be
playing
a
it right
fun-filled
now.
ride? Oh, okay. The Diener.
The Governor of Givener. He is Canadian. Will Sasso? The Diener's fucking cool, dude. Oh shit. The King touch pussy fart. It had weed and metal in it. This has a real. What was that? What was that movie where he was going to be the stunt man? Would you like a hit of acid?
Oh, Hot Rod?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Giver. I fuck with it.
sex cow.
At school.
Is that a Dokken show?
Never too old to start fucking giving her?
All right.
I'm down.
It,
Yeah,
it
I'm
looks like
down
a
to watch
silly
that.
time.
He
Yeah.
opened that trunk and said, King touch pussy fart. Like, no, it's not who King Tut was.
We live in time.
No ad, huh?
Hmm.
I'm playing it now.
So this guy, is that Andrew Garfield?
It is. It's Garfunkel. And no Midsommar.
Mm.
Well, that's why. Say 2-4. I tried to put you in a bear costume. It didn't work. And then we did mushrooms in the midnight sun.
Yes, Chef.
I get it.
But yeah.
Look at her. Yeah, I get it, dude.
Even with no makeup. Oh, whoa. Do you have cancer? Oh, this looks sad.
It looks like it's not my cup of tea, but it looks like it's got good acting though.
She's pregnant. Oh,
Man, they need to liven this up instead with Million Dollar Baby. I can represent, baby.
I
what?
mean, I'm down to watch it, but I'll
That's
watch
pretty good.
anything with her in it. You know.
Mm-hmm. Him too.
I mean,
Uh,
yeah.
Running on Empty. I thought this was about. I thought this was going to be about the food review guy, Review Bro,
It's got Big Baby in it. Or
running
Crybaby.
on
What was it?
empty.
Yeah, Jim Gaffigan. Wow,
This
Gaffigan.
is running on empty. Food
Comedy.
review.
All right. Playing it. It's rated R. That's why I
For
picked it.
language and sexual content. Because they're fucking and they're talking about it.
Oh, okay. He's like discount Saltburn dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna die soon. Absolutely.
Mhm.
I don't like this.
It's like the sequel to the fucking Little Rascals, but it's just alfalfa.
Oh, he was Paul and It Follows. Okay. He had long hair then. Bagging.
Mm.
Whoa. Check this movie out.
Potluck.
The Milli Vanilli movie.
Is
How
it?
Milli Vanilli gonna get a biopic before everybody else? Like,
I mean, it was a cultural phenomenon, dude.
well, pop culture.
Yeah.
I'm playing it.
If you say Milli Vanilli to a kid that was born after 2000, they have no idea who the fuck it is.
Girl, you know it's. Girl, you know it's. Because you lied. And now we Millie and Vanilli.
Mm.
I mean, they were just playing a role. Even the grandma was like, no. Acting like they got duped.
Yeah,
They
right.
knew they were models. By Neely. Uh-oh.
Oh, they're
I
gonna try to
wouldn't have
make
gave
it
a
look
fuck.
like the
Yeah.
mess up was on purpose.
They knew it wasn't them. The dudes that recorded the song were kind of chubby. The singer, I've seen him before.
I'm digging the synth wave though.
Like, they didn't have the look.
Yeah.
So they recorded these guys and went out and found these dudes to. But they're trying to spin this like they didn't know it wasn't them. Like, oh, fuck, you knew that wasn't you. Got an ad for Puerto Rico. A
Ooh.
weird thing to make an ad for.
Yeah.
In Puerto Rico? Okay. I'm backing it up. Playing it now. Check out the aspect ratio.
Respect the bars.
Up. Ray Donovan. Never heard of it. Was this World War II? Mi scusi. What was that? A fucking Zen pouch? I don't know what's going on. There were many bullets. Who
So
looks
he's trying to
familiar?
find where his son died in the war, right?
Oh, that's Josh Hutcherson. Hemingways.
Hemingway, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Oi.
I gotta add.
Is it for
Let's
Puerto
see, what
Rico?
is this for? No. Mushroom coffee.
Hmm.
Art of a hit.
This dude looks wild.
Yeah, right. Hmm.
96, that was the grunge. Who's this supposed to be? I like the look. Stand up and shout. What? Plug's kind of weird, but he can be chill, you know? Dude, we're just trying to make our record.
Yeah. All right, Charles, get out of here.
Yeah. What?
I don't know what's going on there.
Sebastian Stan.
I like Sebastian.
Another A24.
In this movie, he plays a different man. See the Elephant Man?
Whoa. Is that Sebastian Stan?
I think so.
Is he playing the Elephant Man?
Oh. No. He's like, God damn, I look great. What the fuck? So that guy really looks like that. Adam Pearson. Interesting. Oh, he was the guy in Under the Skin. Yeah, he was in that.
That looks interesting.
It does look interesting. He gets his face fixed, and then this dude's like got a better life than him. That dude's out there living his best life, like talking to the neighbors.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Well,
Yeah.
like me when I look like that.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
This shit looks wild.
The Substance?
Yeah, with Demi Moore playing
Mm.
it. Trailer look wild. Juiced by Jerry. Ozempic, the movie. It is Ozempic.
What a
Weird.
fucking trailer.
Right.
Yeah. I'm down though. That look wild.
Oh shit.
All right, platform 2.
Mm-hmm. Uh,
How could they approve of the original?
well, the thumbnail had a girl
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
playing it. Feast.
Damn.
This is making me feel very uncomfortable. It looks like they did it. It looks like they improved. How'd you get that lighter in there? And cigarette. They're gonna go to war. It's like when the floor fought in Severance.
I mean, I'm down.
I haven't watched this yet.
The new Cap trailer.
I saw the screenshot of the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
They were like, check out. They were like the first look of Harrison Ford as the Red Hulk. I was like, that's CGI.
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, dude, he actually took.
He ain't wearing a fucking mocap suit. The dependent man. All right, I'm playing it. About fucking time though.
Yeah.
I have to disagree. Look at me, Hector. I mean, work with me, Sam. Too soon.
Mhm.
So he's president?
Yeah.
Or is he? Okay.
General Ross is president. Yeah.
He don't have powers though.
Yeah.
So can we like give him a shot? I know they got some shit laying around. White House down. Yeah. What's the suit? Man, this trailer is short, but goddamn.
Does it tell the whole story in
Shit, I mean,
59
dude.
seconds?
I tried to find a longer one, but I was like, I want to see that. Playing it now. Here it goes. Don't turn away, you'll miss it.
I didn't hear any else comments on that previous trailer, but
Looks good.
This fucking guy.
Hmm. Look, man, I don't ever want to see anybody talk shit about Zack Snyder's use of slow motion.
How cool is this dude? Why was he
If you
holding
pl-
that guy's body? Like,
if you played that trailer in real time without the slow mo, it would have only been a 20-second long trailer.
yeah, that's how they make it longer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got next week?
I mean, a little palate
Uh,
cleanser.
um,
Like Night with the Devil.
do you guys wanna give Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes a go?
I mean,
Or is that one of those movies you guys wanna wait and try to tackle, like,
We
as a
did
whole
talk about
series?
that. Oh, that's right. You weren't here. Because I had that. You know, it's out, and we talked about it. It's like we haven't watched those other ones.
I mean, I know there's a significant time gap, so I'm wondering if that allows it to be a good entry point,
I mean, I'll watch it.
but I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much knowledge is needed of the earlier trilogy for this one. But I mean, it's
Neither do we.
whatever. I'm fine with. I mean, whenever you said palate cleanser, I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, that's one of the first ones I could think of.
It does say
uh,
many years after the reign of Caesar.
yeah. I mean, I'm down with that or Late Night with the Devil. Either one.
Well, we just got to get that
Ooh,
in there at some point, you know.
yeah,
Like I
I'd like
said,
to get
that one.
late. Yeah, yeah. Let's go with late night.
Because if we'll dick around and we'll get 50 episodes down the road, and
Be like, oh yeah.
yeah, man, there's too many movies out.
Yeah.
Like Hundreds of Beavers is out. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
We watched the trailer.
I remember.
Well, let's try to watch a good scary movie. You know, we keep
Um,
forget Boy Kills World. There's a lot.
but
I do want
I'm
to
very
see Late Night with the Devil.
I'm down with that. I think that'll be a good contrast to the
Won't be
Acolyte
fairies.
finale.
It might be.
It better not be fairies.
Well, the only thing I can take away from it is it's supposed to be what dude locks him in at a TV show, and he's like, "We're about to perform a ritual," and then she gets
Exorcism.
weird. I mean, that
Yeah.
sounds weird as fuck. I'm down. And that dude, that actor, he's kind
What
of
about
proven
man?
himself. I'm ready to see if he can carry a whole movie himself.
Oh, he's got it.
Let's do it. Late Night with the Devil. And the final episode.
Thank God.
Of Disney Plus originals, The Acolyte.
Boom. I just did the Disney. Boom. You know that little.
Yeah.
Okay. Checks in the mail.
And the flag is raised.